Before you, life was so boring. I got up, went to work just to get back home and repeat. Before you.
Hey guys, Janet here with Radiant Wanderings. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and stay a while. And as always, if you find anything in here helpful or useful, please do give a big thumbs up. We are going to move quickly through this today, so if I go too fast or you need some information for later, check the description below. I always put a link to my blog post there with all of the details. So I live near Glacier National Park. We moved here about 6 years ago, and this is one of my absolute favorite activities to do each year. I mean, it's no secret that going to the Sun Road is one of the prime attractions, if you will, of Glacier National Park. People from all over the country, all over the world come and they drive it through the summer. However, it's a very different and special opportunity to be able to bike going to the Sun Road. And when I'm talking about biking it, I'm talking about without vehicular traffic. You can bike it in the summer with vehicles. However, I feel like those people have a death wish because that road is so tight anyway. There is hardly enough room for two vehicles, let alone a biker. You have a cliff on one side, you have rocks on the other side. So it's not going to bode well if you get bumped. So that is not for me. However, I love biking the road when it's not open to vehicles yet. And for this video, Wayne and April joined me. They came to the area, they contacted me. They are fellow travel vloggers. Their vlogging channel is Go Travel on the Cheap. So if you love to travel but you're on a budget, definitely go check them out, follow them. They have great tips, ways to travel more affordably, and also they still travel internationally. They visit some countries that are maybe more affordable with the exchange rate and that sort of thing. So definitely go check their channel out. I will post that below. So you'll be seeing a lot of them in the footage throughout this video. I also did another video with another friend. That one I didn't give as many tips in though. It's just kind of more of our ride and our journey throughout the day, kind of vlogging style. That is the one though where we saw the bear along the way. So that was pretty exciting. You can check that out. I'll link at the end of this video as well. All right, so the first thing is your equipment. Weather in Glacier National Park is always, it can change on a dime. So my primary method of dressing here is to dress in layers. That way if it gets warmer, I can just take layers off. If it gets cooler, I can put them back on. So I highly recommend doing that. In addition, you will need a bike, of course. So if you live here, obviously you probably have a bike. While you could bike going to the Sun Road on a Walmart bike, I would not recommend it. It probably wouldn't be very much fun. You really want a bike with gears that you can change out, and so you're not working quite so hard. Additionally, there are e-bikes that have become really popular in the last couple of years. And if you're coming in from out of town and you want to do this, you can rent bikes in Apgar Village. You have a choice of an e-bike, a hybrid, or a road bike. And for that, they only do full day rentals, so no half days there. They also have bike racks that you can put on your car. So that's good if you're coming in from out of town because your rental car probably doesn't have that. The one thing that I didn't see that they have are helmets. So if you are coming into town and you want to bike going to the Sun Road and you do want to wear a helmet, you'll need to pick one of those up at the local Walmart or bring your own with you. Other than that, as far as equipment goes, you're just going to want to bring a camera, which for most of you, that's just going to simply be your phone, which is great. Our phones can take such great pictures nowadays. However, if you do want to bring a better quality camera with interchangeable lenses, you can get some really epic photos on Glacier National Park's going to the Sun Road. You will have a little bit more weight to carry in your pack along the way though, so that's the trade-off there. And then also you'll want to bring gloves if it's earlier in the morning or later in the evening. I've never needed them before. This year I wished that I had them. We got an earlier start and my fingers were frozen. So definitely something easy to throw in your bag, possibly a beanie if you're not wearing a helmet. And then of course, bear spray. And if you aren't familiar with how to use bear spray, I do have a video tutorial on that I will link here at the end as well. And speaking of bear spray, we have seen bears along the road. One of the years that we biked it, there was a black bear just grazing alongside the road. It was pretty exciting to see a bear. We've also seen deer, which isn't really that exciting. However, this deer came right up and was licking us because we were sweaty, I'm sure, like a human salt block for it. And that was a first with a deer, so that was kind of fun. And I've heard of other people seeing bighorn sheep. So it's not a guarantee, but you might get to get up close and personal with some of that wildlife. Just be careful with the bears, especially any moose. I don't think you would see a moose. but keep your distance, and then that is where a camera with a zoom lens would come in really nice. And don't forget to bring sunscreen and sunglasses. All right, so the next thing that you need to know, number 2, is timing and direction. So you can't bike going to the Sun Road all year without vehicles. Obviously, vehicles need to go on it. The time to bike it without vehicles is in May and sometimes into early June. You can check the schedule. It's going to be dependent upon the plowing schedule, so I will put a link in my blog post to that. A lot of people like to bike it for Mother's Day. I personally like to go later in May because then the road is plowed up to Avalanche Campground. That's where I prefer to start. So we park at Avalanche Campground, unload the bikes, and then you'll ride along the river over some beautiful bridges with the mountains in the background and then some distant waterfalls. And it's pretty level for about the first 6 miles, just a slight incline. And then the last 2 miles, you definitely start having to work a bit harder, take a few more breaks. Once you see the triple loop bridge, you know that you're getting close to the loop. And then when you reach the loop, that's where I like to stop. It has beautiful 180-degree views over the mountains and the river below. I sit there and I eat my lunch or my snacks, have a drink, and take in all the beauty. You can continue going past that up to where they are currently plowing. I have never gone further. I have seen photos of people that have gone further, and of course they're beautiful as well, and a lot less people go past there. So it could be really fun to do, especially if you have an e-bike. That might be where an e-bike starts making a lot of sense. If you go sooner, you will probably need to start at Lake McDonald Lodge, and that's going to add another 6 miles to your bike journey to the loop. And again, that's fairly flat. It's not too steep of an incline, but it's just similar scenery to what you already get starting at Avalanche Campground. So I like to just skip that part, drive that part, and then start biking the rest. Now, if you're renting a bike from Apgar Village, you could bike all the way from Apgar Village. That is going to take you along Lake McDonald the entire way, and that's going to add another 6 to 8 miles of flat bike riding to your journey. I would recommend just renting a bike rack, but if you're an avid bicyclist, then it's probably no big deal to you. Also with that, you will have cars. There will be vehicles for that section there because it's probably plowed to Lake McDonald Lodge, so cars are driving up to that point and or to Avalanche Campground. So when you do get to the last couple miles where it starts getting a little bit tougher, just stop, take more breaks, take more photos. It's always my excuse. I'm like, oh, I gotta take another photo. Really, I just need to catch my breath, but it works. And then you have beautiful photos when you get home. And then coming back down is a blast. I absolutely love coming back down. If you are scared of the speed, you're in control, so you can brake more if you need to. I like to push the limits a little bit with that. Definitely coming back down especially is where a helmet is probably a wise choice, especially if you like to push those limits. I have heard of people coming down up further from the loop and gaining a lot of speed and coming around a corner and there being like a bighorn sheep or some sort of wildlife in the road, which they had to slam on their brakes for. So that's definitely something to be aware of. Also, you want to stay to the right side of the yellow line, whether you're going up or coming down, because you don't want to be in the way of those bikers coming down at high speeds. So just keep that in mind, just like with the road, just like with driving, you don't want to go across that yellow line. All right, and number 3, you want to make sure you have sustenance for your journey. So definitely water is a must. I prefer to use a water bladder. If you don't have one of those, then any water bottle will do, disposable or otherwise. If you do bring in disposable water bottles, please be sure that you pack it back out, or I think there is a bear-proof trash can at the loop, and then also at Avalanche Campground where I starred, or Lake McDonald Lodge. And then also you're probably going to want several. I think 2, typically at least 2 water bottles for the journey would be good. And then I love to bring snacks or lunch of some sort and sit at the loop and eat that while enjoying the views. Energy bars, beef jerky, any kind of nuts, trail mix. So if you have other additional ideas or things that you love, leave it in the comments below for everybody. All right, and number 4 is stamina. So while I have said that pretty much all activity levels can do this ride, it is important to recognize that we are not all created equally when it comes to that department.
Oh yeah, all through Mexico. sweating. It's like 65 degrees and I'm sweating like a pig.
So if you're going with a group of people, it's really wise to discuss beforehand what the plan of action is. If some people are slower than others, are you all stopping and waiting? Are others going on and you're meeting at the loop or whatever your end point is, so that the other slower people don't feel pressured the whole way and like they need to keep trying to keep up.
Is this the finish line? I'm there!
Woohoo!
Yeah!
If they're turning around and going back, where are you meeting at the end? Just get all those details planned out first. Also, if some feel like they have less stamina than others, possibly renting an e-bike or a hybrid of some sort might help them out, and then you can all stick together. And then number 5, dinner or drinks afterwards. That's like my favorite part of any day. I feel like anytime you work for it, food just tastes so much better. So some of our favorite places to stop for after any hike or biking trip in Glacier National Park are the Huckleberry Patch that is in Hungry Horse. There are several Huckleberry places. They are not all created equal, so make sure you get the Huckleberry Patch. I love their Huckleberry Pie a la mode. They have ice cream shakes, burgers, fries, that sort of thing. Their kids' chicken fingers and fries is pretty good. If you go further on your journey into Columbia Falls, we love Gunsight Saloon. They have an outdoor seating area, live music most nights of the week, and the little twinkle lights strung up, and it's just a really nice atmosphere and venue. And I do like their food as well. I love the Queen of the West cocktail there. They have good burgers and fries. My husband loves the fish po' boy. And also a little further into Columbia Falls is Backslope Brewing. And they just have a unique menu with a wild combination of flavors that really, really work. I love the bistro burger there. My sister loved the veggie burger there. They have fried pickles, which are yummy. They have some like Thai peanut bowls that are really good. They also have this ginger lemonade that's really good. So anyway, that's it. If you've done it before, leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. If you haven't done it and you're planning and you have additional questions, leave that below as well. Definitely check out the blog post before you come to see that plowing schedule so you can make your plans accordingly. And you guys have a great week. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified when the next video drops, and I'll see you around. And thank you so much to Wayne and April for hanging. I had a blast with you guys. It was fun hanging during the day and going and getting pizza that night at Moose's. Hopefully we can do it again.